Hello and welcome to this video and to a what I got for my birthday, which I know is a bit old school YouTube, but I quite like watching them because I'm quite nosy and it does say a bit about the person, I guess. And to be quite honest, this is basically just a birthday book haul with a few other bits chucked in because largely I just asked for books because I didn't know what I wanted, and I know there's a lot of books that I would like to read. And B, it's kind of the only thing that I look at the moment. So there we go. So what I thought we'd do is split it into non-book and book. Start with the non-book stuff, end with the books. I should have done the little timeline splitty thing. Chapters, is that what it's called? Oh, I'm so technical. So if you're interested in one and not the other, it means that you can skip to those. Probably quite a short video, largely because I'm really hungry. But let's get into it. We'll start with the non-book stuff. So for Christmas, Pete bought me this camera, which is obviously quite a sizable purchase. So for my birthday, he bought me a case for it to go in. As I've been saying to you in a lot of the videos, I'm not taking this camera out until I have some protection for it. I now have the protection. It also looks like quite a large case, which means I can put extra batteries and memory cards and stuff in because this camera does film in better quality, I think. I don't know if you've noticed it in the last videos where I've been using both cameras. So very happy with the case. Looking forward to now test driving this out of my home. My mum and dad got me some new running trainers because, hang on a minute, I have my old shoe here and you may be able to tell it is a bit broke and a bit talky and actually not made for running. So I got some proper ones that they got for me. So looking forward to trying these out and seeing whether actually I feel a bit more supported with the heel and stuff. So good for those. So my brother a couple of years ago got me tickets to 101 Dalmatians, the musical that was happening at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre, and then obviously COVID struck and we couldn't go, and then they cancelled it entirely. They never postponed or anything like that. And then this year they've decided that they're going to do it. So Adam essentially rebought me the tickets because he took me to see Heathers, and I'll link that video up here if you haven't seen it, to replace the 101 Dalmatians tickets. So he is taking me to see that, and this is his drawing. The Dalmatian is fairly decent. Cruella de Vil, less so, but it's good. And when we eventually move house, obviously I need somewhere to house my books, which I've been calling my book nook, and those kind of little things will look quite nice in there. He made me one for Matilda for my Christmas present as well, so I've now got the two of my brother's drawings. Of the three, Cruella is the worst, sorry Adam. She's very off-brand. He also gave me some pictures that his kids at school drew for me, which was quite sweet. I'm partial to the, is it the Unicat, have I said that right? And someone else drew a rainbow, which was rather lovely, even though they've never met me. Along with some books. Spoiler, there are books coming. Pete's auntie got me a Penguin Books tea towel, which I'm partial to. I love a penguin, I love a book. Put them together, perfect. And then Pete's parents, again with some books. They got me essentially a charging bank because my phone is getting a bit old and is not holding onto battery very much, but I am obviously planning on moving house and paying for a wedding, so I can't justify buying a new phone yet when it hasn't completely gone kaput. But when I'm out and about, I need something to be able to charge it. So they have got me one of those, which is going to be very helpful, and it looks like it's going to be quite small and it's lightweight, so perfect for my little rucksack. And they also got me this really pretty bag. I think it's a bag, I'm not really sure at the moment what it will be used for. It obviously folds up and then you can tie it, and then there are a whole heap of pockets in there. I'm wondering whether it would be quite good for travel, so to keep like some pens and some documents and stuff in, and then it can be folded small, but pretty nonetheless. So that was all the non-book stuff, and then we have this stack of books. So because I've mixed it all up, I won't say who they're from, but thank you to all of you who have bought me some books for my birthday, most appreciated. So we will jump into it and make a start. So we got Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you saw my end of year book haul, you'll know that I got The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for Christmas, which I haven't yet read, but I was saying there that I have heard nothing but good things about Taylor Jenkins Reid and Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo in particular, so glad to have both of them in my collection now to give them a go, to see what all the fuss is about. This one, I believe, follows a band in like the 70s or the 80s, and then they split up, and it's like a novel explaining why they split up, and a lot of people didn't realise that it's a fictional band, so I guess that is testament to the writing. So looking forward to that one. It says it's a must-read book for the summer, so maybe we'll leave that for a few months. Next we got The Love Square by Laura Jane Williams. Really enjoyed Owl's Stop last year. So this was her second release. I believe she's got another one out yet, but you know, we'll work through them as they get to paperback. And I mean, I think the title says what this book's going to be about. The little blurb on the front is choose company, three's crowd, four's complicated. So should be fun when I get round to it. A book that may not be quite so fun is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. Again, I have heard that this book is I don't know how to word it, because good is not the word I want to use for it, but I've heard that many people think this is very well written and a book that people should read, but the subject in it and stuff makes it quite uncomfortable, and deliberately uncomfortable, as it follows Vanessa Y, who has a relationship with her English teacher, and then several years later he's accused of sexual abuse by another student, and then she comes to the realisation and stuff like that. So not a book that's going to be a light-hearted read, but one that I think will be worth the time, I guess. So that's My Dark Vanessa. We then get to Olive by Emma Gannon, which one of the booktube channels that I watch a lot, Rachel Kerris. This is like her favourite book of all time, and whenever she talks about it, I think that I'm going to really enjoy it, because from what she has described, it's about a group of friends, including Olive, in their sort of early 30s, which is obviously where I am, and they're trying to make their way through the world and society's pressures and stuff. I think Olive is part of the friendship group that doesn't actually want children and has to cope with that kind of stigma and pressure that she has to go with for that one. So I believe this is all about friendships and society and all of that kind of thing, so it should be a good read. There we get to Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Apologies if I've pronounced her name wrong. This is about two sisters whose father dies in I was going to say a plane crash, but I don't think he does. I just don't think he comes home, kind of thing. But neither of them know that the other one exists, because he's got a family in both, I think it's the Dominican Republic and America. So it's all about learning about that secret, dealing with the grief of the death of the father, all of that kind of stuff. But this is all told in verse, and I haven't read a book that is told in verse for at least a decade, so looking forward to giving that sort of medium a go again. Next is The Eve Illusion by Tom and Giovanna Fletcher. I have read Eve of Man, really enjoyed the story, wanted to know where it is going. This is written by the husband and wife duo, so one takes one character's chapter perspective, the other takes the other. And this is the sequel. I think it's going to be a trilogy, but I will have to read Eve of Man again to be able to read this one, because I can't quite remember what happened in that first book. But covers of these are always really pretty. And because I am a little bit of a Fletcher fangirl, I also have Billy and Me by Giovanna Fletcher, which is her first novel. I have read Some Kind of Wonderful, and I can't remember what the other one was. So I've read Some Kind of Wonderful and You're the One That I Want by Giovanna. Enjoyed them both. They're, I guess, kind of typical romance, women's fiction kind of contemporary books. This is her first one, which is about, I think, a woman falling in love with or meeting a film star. Same kind of themes, you know, boy meets girl, girl or boy isn't in the best place that they want to be, etc. But it does sound really interesting. I think it'll be a quick read, and as I said, I'm a bit of a Fletcher fangirl of all the Fletchers, so wouldn't mind having copies of all their books, assuming they're all good. But we'll give Billy and Me a go and then see where we go from there. Bit of a different genre for me, and that's The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Again, apologies if I am mispronouncing this. I heard about this a couple of years ago and thought that sounded interesting and then completely forgot about it, and then saw it again a couple of months ago, and the person who was talking about this one just really sold it to me. I guess more of a historical fiction. So it's set in 1945, where a man brings 10-year-old son Daniel to a labyrinth library of forgotten titles hidden in the old city of Barcelona. Allowed to choose one book, Daniel pulls out The Shadow of the Wind, but as Daniel grows up, several people seem inordinately interested in his find. What begins as a case of literary curiosity turns into a race to discover the truth about life and death of Julian Carax, who's the author, to save those he left behind. So, not 100% sure whether I'm going to enjoy this one, but I think it's always good to branch out of your comfort zone every now and again, and I have heard some good things about this one. And we come to the last book, and to an author that everybody is talking about. You can't go anywhere on any sort of book platform without people talking about Colleen Hoover. So I've got Verity, which I believe is like a romance thriller, kind of twists the two genres together. And again, I've heard lots of people rave about Colleen Hoover and thought I would give one of her books a go. This one was the one that I guess intrigued me the most, just because of that mix of thriller and romance, and yeah, interested to see what the fuss is with this author. Stick around for future book reviews to see what I think of those. As I said at the beginning of the video, thank you to everyone that has given me a gift this year. It's always appreciated, and I'm aware that my birthday falls very close to Christmas, so it's a bit awkward. But yes, I am now going to go and have some food because I'm very, very hungry. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you're interested in what I think of all of these books, or you're just interested in how all the plans for the house and the wedding and everything else that's happening this year is going, please click that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!